2024 Audi SQ8. I am on the right side of the vehicle and the wrong side of the road. We are out here in South Africa, somewhere outside of Cape Town. It is a little weird getting used to a left-hand drive car on the left side of the road, because obviously you're on the curbside. It's very confusing. But beyond that, this thing is slightly new for this year. It's a refresh. It's pretty subtle, typical Audi. Am I right? Nothing is ever too revolutionary, and that is very much the case here. The powertrain, identical to last time. Don't expect any changes there. This one is running a 4-liter V8 that makes 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. And when you put your foot down, it giddies up and goes. I'm also going to say something maybe a little bit controversial. I've driven the RS Q8. It is super cool, but driving this thing makes me feel like that might be a little unnecessary, kind of overkill. I don't know. It is cool, but I don't think you need everything it's got. This is more than enough, whether you want to have fun or just use it as a daily driver. And let's be honest, 500 horsepower is plenty. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about a sports car or a sport utility vehicle. Now, maybe the biggest deal this time around, new lighting. Again, pretty subtle when you look at it, but it's the execution, because this has a new digital laser light headlight that's optional on both the Q8 and the SQ8, and digital organic LED taillights. The cool thing is, front and back, they have 4 different lighting profiles. So you can actually choose the way they look through the infotainment system, pick the one you like the best. And the really cool thing about the taillights is they change depending on if there's traffic behind you. So if you're stopped at a red light and you've got the kind of arrow-shaped lighting signature chosen, it's a little bit subtle. The cool thing is, as soon as a vehicle rolls up behind you, it will light up more of the taillights to let the driver behind you know that you are stopped. I think that's a pretty neat little feature. It kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You get the fashion and the function. That is really cool. And that's sort of a theme with this vehicle, right? It's a sportback-ish SUV, so it's not quite as inherently practical as a full proper SUV. But then the cool thing is, it's big, it's boxy, there's tons of room front and back, and this thing can tow 7,700 pounds, which is quite a lot. I don't know if you're going to be towing with your SQ8 or your Q8, but the point is, you can do it if you want to. Now, obviously, more important in a vehicle like this than towing is the way it performs, right? And this is an SQ8. Yes, it's not a full RS model, but it's got plenty of guts. It's also a great handler. It's big, you can feel that, but the steering feel is really nice, and it doesn't matter whether you're driving it fast or slow. I will say this thing is silky smooth. Yes, it does have adaptive air suspension, but by the seat of my pants, I'm telling you, it feels really nice. I'm also gonna say that this is one of the quietest vehicles I think I have ever driven. We've had the radio off while we're cruising around out here. Not a whole lot of the outside world has been making its way inside, but a whole lot of this engine has. So how much are you going to pay for this blend of comfort and performance? Well, $124,000 before tax in Canada, which is a lot of money, but there is a lot of vehicle here. Now, there are some options too, of course, because this is an Audi, but I'd still say the value is pretty good. If you want to skip the SQ8 and just go with the Q8, it starts in the 90s. But importantly, stuff like the air suspension that you have to pay extra for on that lesser version, it is included here, so it definitely helps to sweeten the deal.